Let's go into, their time is now. You know, want some, come get some. One last opportunity to get a little bit of the match with John Cena that is not for any type of title or contendership or crown or anything. But we're gonna have a tournament that people apparently care about. So yeah, let's talk about that.
All right, so you want to go ahead and did they announce the tournament contestants? Who we got?
So up to this point, they have announced the first two matches that will be on Raw, and then they'll announce a few more this coming SmackDown, and then next week announce the others. But the two matches that we currently have announced are Sheamus versus Shinsuke Nakamura and Rusev versus Damian Priest. Now, as far as the matches on paper, both those matches sound like they'll be entertaining. I got no issues with these wrestlers in it. I personally feel that if you were, obviously taking time in making, the announcements for the matches, cool, you set the pace. You should have had at least one guy in the first batch of announcements be a younger guy or an NXT guy.
Yeah.
Again, I got no problem with these four people being in the tournament. I might have held off on maybe announcing one of these matches and set one of the others up that involved an NXT guy or something like that, as far as the first crop of announcements. Along with that, the thing that we really, really need in this, and it's not just from these first four people, it's from everyone that's going to be in this tournament. I don't care if it's solely for social media. I don't care if they were airing on a Raw, NXT, SmackDown, wherever. I need vignettes of these individuals explaining what this means to them, what's in it for them, why they want to be in this tournament.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to Rusev and Sheamus, your story's already there because they are past feuds with John Cena. So that's easy. You can bring up the history with that. Boom. That explains them. Why does Damian Priest need to win this tournament and have a match with John Cena? Why does Shinsuke Nakamura need this tournament? I don't care if the reason is, hey, he's my hero. He's the reason I got into wrestling. He's everyone's hero. I want to destroy him. He's going to get me on TV. He's going to lead me to a title shot. I can learn this from him. I'm doing this because a friend of a friend was a Make-A-Wish kid that he granted, and I should have been that wish. Whatever the case might be, I don't care what the stories are, but we need to know, why does this matter to you that you're in a tournament that does not lead to a title shot?
And here's my kickback on that though.
Yeah.
Josh, right. It's a great idea because I do love it. But with a 16-man tournament, you might start getting the same type of answers. So how do you work around that? Right? How do you work around that?
You got creativity. You get
creativity.
Yeah. I mean, and again, and you could have someone, just think of a random. Let's say Omos was in the tournament. Obviously, he better not be. But let's just say he was one of the 16 guys in the tournament. You know what his vignette would be? It'd be like, I have an opportunity of hurting 15 other people, not just physically, but ruin their dream of having a match with John Cena.
I like that.
Fine. Yeah. There's one guy, And again, you're going to have people that have the storyline. Sheamus is written. Rusev, it's already written.
Yeah.
This is in the tournament, it's already written. If Matt Cardona is in the tournament, it's already written. Carmelo's in the tournament. We touched on it last week, being that he's from Boston.
Yes.
That one is kind of already written. Yes. So you have a number of them that could already be in place. Then you get creative with the other half of the bracket. So what are your thoughts on A, the tournament happening as a whole, and B, these first two matches that are announced?
I love the tournament. You know, I love the fact that obviously they're gonna just put it up to whoever wins to face John Cena. That's fine. Um, I'm with you in regards to like the first couple of matches that they've announced. Like, just me being a fan of the product and me understanding where the storyline is gonna go. We know that four of these guys, maybe except Sheamus, right? The other three guys are not, they're not going to advance very far. They're not getting past whatever. So it's kind of just like a filler thing. But I'm agreeing with you. I would love to see like a wild card younger guy that's in there that nobody's really expecting to be in the tournament, right? Because then now it brings intrigue into a matchup with that four set of people. So you take out Shinsuke, you put in a young guy, and it's just like, oh, okay, well, let me see how this works, right? Like the dynamic is a lot different. We understand this guy, but this new guy here, like maybe he does have a chance to be able to win a couple of matches, and who knows what happens. It just brings intrigue. When you
100.
have these four guys here, there's no intrigue here outside of just like you said, the nostalgia between Sheamus and Cena or Rusev and Cena. With the other two, it's just like, okay, they're just in there. But if we were to play this out hypothetically, Damian Priest wins the tournament. You really want to see Damian Priest and John Cena for his last match? No. Like Shinsuke.
At this moment, no. Now,
Right.
again, depending on what story and how they build and what this relationship is and what it means to Priest,
Yeah.
then maybe you can convince me. But like today, right now,
No.
And it's not specifically on Priest. Realistically, it's honestly on all four of these people. That
All
were
four, exactly. Yeah.
And I am with you. I agree with the thought because, you know, they mentioned in the Cena vignette on Saturday Night's Main Event where they also re-aired during Raw. They said Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and maybe even people that aren't even
That don't work here. Yeah.
So that does open that door for what you want. I mean, how much more intrigued would you be if instead of Rusev versus Damian Priest, it happened to be Rusev versus Javon Evans?
Yeah. I'd be excited. I'd be excited.
I mean, I'm not thinking like Javon would win, but hey, a match we haven't seen, a very different clash of styles. Then, you know, you throw, you know, again, like I mentioned Cardona, because since he's like TNA and has been in NXT, Damian Priest versus Matt Cardona.
Right.
Okay. Intrigue, story, both from New York, all different things that you can throw in there. And again, but it's a unique setup of guys that, we have not seen this, especially on WWE TV.
Right.
So, you know, lead to unique tournament. And because also, you know, there are going to be some storylines involved. Yes. Damian Priest is in this tournament. We know Aleister Black's going to be in this tournament.
Yes.
If Carmelo's in this tournament, we know Miz is going to be in this tournament because they're going to still kind of fuel other stories.
Still build those,
which is good because you need to make sure other stories build from this. But so like, you know, we already know at least one other person that's in this tournament since they announced Damian Priest, and that's Aleister Black. So now it's a matter of seeing, okay, well, what two matches are they going to announce this Friday on SmackDown? Will that involve an unknown? Will that involve an NXT person? And say if it's from one of those people who, quote unquote, don't work here, will they announce who that person is, or will they just say it's a mystery opponent?
Right. What do you think is better? Do you think it's better to announce it beforehand, or just, you know, call it the mystery, and then when the match comes, then that's when you get that pop?
It's a matter of who the mystery is to determine which way is good. Yeah. You know, if that mystery person is Chris Jericho, yes, you want it to be a surprise.
Yes.
If that mystery person is Joe Hendry, yes, you want it to be a surprise. If that mystery person is some other random wrestler that maybe used to be in WWE and has now just been on the indies for a long time, is coming back, and name I can't think. Heath Slater, you know, like, you know, just random name I just pulled out. Jinder Mahal would be hilarious.
That's my guy.
If he was, I love Jinder. You don't hinder Jinder.
Yeah.
So, but like different things like that. Actually, now that I mentioned, I think Jinder actually recently had like bicep surgery or something like that. I think
Oh,
he's
okay.
injured at the moment. Um, but yeah, you put people in there. Hell, I don't expect them to be in a match. Have them just come out to surprise introduce someone. JBL.
JBL
Is
or
JBL? He's the victim of the first title run from Cena.
right. Or
You know,
or you got my man Wade Barrett, right? Nexus.
they're sitting right there. Uh, he's got some bad news for you. He's in the tournament.
I've got some bad news.
So ultimately, the tournament's going to bring intrigue. Obviously, depending on how they build the War Games match itself, and Cena will have his own separate match at Survivor Series as well.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting where they end up putting the finals of this match on that card.
Yeah.
Likewise, obviously, we know that Saturday Night's main event for his final match. We know that will naturally be the last match on that show. But I do find it interesting. You are wrestling in a tournament that's on one of your big four pay-per-views. And to win that tournament, you get the chance to main event a Saturday Night's main event.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
So wait and see. I mean, again, as long as the matchups and the way they set up the brackets, which of course we have not seen up to this point, up to this recording, as long as it keeps you guessing and you're not sure who would win. Because many times they put up a bracket, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, that guy's winning.
Exactly. Yeah.
As long as we can't tell, because we're like, oh, well, he could, and he could. Then you can make it worth something.
Yeah, I agree. I think they should definitely have a lot of intrigue and a lot of confusion in the brackets to make people say, oh, well, I got this guy. Oh, but make people start to create their own stories and whatever it is, because now that's going to generate buzz. That's going to generate intrigue. That's going to generate a lot more interest in what you have there. And it's going to make the tournament even better than what it's supposed to be. So, we don't want to have it what's the word, telegraph. We don't want a telegraph type of thing where we can kind of look right through it and we know exactly who it is. So if John Cena has anything to do with it, obviously Paul Heyman can put whoever is going to have their hands on this thing. They need to make sure that they're running confusion and a whole bunch of offensive line, your offensive line blocking here, so we're not realizing what the hell is going on. That's what I want. I want us to be arguing and say, nah, it's gonna be this dude. Now here's why it's gonna be this guy. Here's why it's gonna, as it gets closer, here's why it's gonna be this is what you want. So I'm curious to see it. Not really fond of the first four, but obviously they have a plan, so I'm gonna let that plan play out without being too negative about it because it just started.